The sun is going to set on another beautiful day, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about a long-awaited subject, penis size. Now, before I go into it, I want everybody to know, including you ladies, there's also a thing about vaginas. Vaginas have different sizes. If you take a look at the Kama Sutra, they talk about Sanskrit, Indian text, Kama Sutra. They talk about 3 different types of women, and it's regards to their genitalia size. So this isn't anything new. This is ancient. But somehow here in the West, we have it all about penis size. And there's this joke about it, and there's also lots of myths about it. And I'm not going to bust any balls, no, because I respect all people. I'm going to bust some myths. Myth number 1, and no effing lie. This is what my mother told me when I was a girl, and I had my period for the very first time. What she said to me. She said, Kathy, all men have the same size penis when it's erect. This is what she said, no lie. It's like, this piece of paper is as big as my head. It's all about perspective. Oh man, you guys should be laughing, okay? All men's penises are the same size when erect. Okay, does that mean then that all women's breasts are the same size when the bra comes off? I don't know. What's the equivalent? Somebody help out. Penis size. Okay, all I know is that there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And Clint Eastwood's not involved. That's a movie reference. But yeah, there's some good, there's some bad, and there's some ugly. And I imagine the same thing is certain for the women, but I'm not trying to make people feel shitty about their goods, but you know, some people actually have ugly ones. That's why the Greeks put a fig over it. I don't understand male nudity. Okay. When I was a girl growing up, there was a Playgirl magazine, and I think to be radical, we bought one, and I looked at it, and I was disgusted. As a woman, I don't get turned on by seeing a guy's schlong, and in fact, it's rather intimidating, because you don't have any idea. I couldn't get a tampon in. The little junior size. It would take me 30 minutes to do it at lunch. I would have to go and eat lunch practically in the bathroom stall so I could relax enough to change the tampon. I mean, why did it even wear a tampon? All I know, I had my hymen still. I didn't know how to put that thing in, and I was tight, see? So my friend Tamara wore 2 supers to my junior. Now, tell me what kind of man she needed. So penis size, she needed a big, huge dick. So I can only tell you my experience. If I had a big, huge dick, it would send me to the hospital. I would bleed. I would have to have reparative work done. Yeah, that's the myth. The myth is that a woman wants it. This is the sort of stuff I read out there in internet land. Oh, but she can give birth to a baby. Screaming bloody murder. Those aren't sounds of pleasure, my friend, even though I've heard some women who actually mastered their bodies can find pleasure in it. But at the same time, do animals find pleasure in giving birth? No, but they lay there quietly and they do it. Women are more vocal. I screamed. I gave birth twice, naturally. Okay, I'm also going to be talking about modern art. But I'm leaving you with that thought. This is all by the same artist. And this is the myth of modern art. that this crap is really as valuable as it's assessed to be, especially if it's donated by a millionaire. Okay, listen to this. This is how a millionaire makes money fast. So he hires an artist to make art, and he pays him $25,000. I'll go into it at length. I don't want to get copyrighted, I guess. There's another piece. Now, I don't know how much these are actually appraised at, and that's the point. So listen up if you want to make some money. And you have the right connections. You can do this. On the other hand, you'll understand why so many artists all over the world are frustrated at white on white being considered good art. And Jackson Pollock, for fucking sake, putting house paint onto canvases. That was all from mental mind Fs. Because the real artists were tearing their hair out with frustration. So this is how it's done. Millionaire hires artists to make art for $25K. The artist puts one streak on a canvas. The millionaire thanks the artist and has the art appraised by an appraiser in his same circle of friends. So the appraiser, the artist has an art, okay, the millionaire says, thanks artist, here's your $25K. Then this millionaire has a friend in the art community. He's got a friend that's an art appraiser. You know, what kind of friends are they? I'll do this for you if you do that for me. What kind of friends are they? Who are these art appraisers? And I'm just asking. It's a fair question. And then the appraiser then has a circle of friends in the same, they all swim in the same shark tank. I'm not sure if you'd call this bottom feeders or top, but going after money and doing this to the frustration of society, these guys are acting like they're top feeders with this big money. They're actually bottom feeders. I'll show you why. So the millionaire thanks the artist. The art is appraised by this appraiser who's in the same circle of friends as the millionaire, and he values the work at $20 million. Okay? So the millionaire then donates this $20 million of artwork to the museum. Thus, he gets a $20 million tax write-off for the cost of $25K. So we're looking at this white on white bullshit, and we're going, that's not art. So I want to know, how much was this considered? How much was this genius of a photograph by the so-called artist? And I'll go into that. So the point is, things are... Don't allow yourself to get fucked with by societal conceptions of what's big, what's small, what's perfect, what's right, what's even measurable. Because I think it's funny and hilarious, and thanks for the email, somebody who sent me an email. They were doing jokes about 6 inches. Now, I've never used a ruler. I just know just right, like Goldilocks without breaking the chair. I'm like, I know what just right is. I know what's too small. I know what's too big. I know what's funny looking. I know that which would put me in the hospital. I know that which would never satisfy me. Get that thing away. And then I know just right. Cheers to that. That's in truth why my guy and I can't leave each other anymore. Crazy as that sounds, sex is our bond. We love each other sexually, but we also really, really love each other. And it was the sexual goodness that actually helped us both heal and get through the muck, because all of us have been so effed with on this planet that we even can create a healthy relationship is a miracle. It is so difficult. So I got that idea from Aurora here. I'm going to go offline while I'm taping this. But this reference, that idea, comes from this person. And, oops. Yeah. Dropsies, hold on. As long as they didn't drop my beer, I'm good. So I'm just feeling kind of energized because let's put this to sleep. Because it's really opened up an important discussion, and I did. Oh, that leaning. That's what I dropped my notes. I did quite a bit of writing on this, and I believe I have some in here too, because penis size is actually a subject in my book, Like Girls. And the reason why is because I worked in a PEEP show, and I was in a plexiglass division. So I wasn't, it was like he was there and I was here, and I had a plexiglass in between, and we passed money through. He passed money through. I passed back change if he needed it, but no, not usually. And I'm writing the chapter on penis size because I swear there's too big. And people don't know that. Well, human beings, some women are so big, guys can possibly fill them with the size they need. I'm talking, I had a girlfriend that did someone that big. She liked it. Oh, which goes back to the story I told you about someone on the internet saying, oh, well, she can give birth to a baby. You know what? The reason why she can't, that's so stupid. A guy wants to go in and out, and that would hurt like. And plus, you don't have all those hormones when you're giving birth. You have all kinds of hormones to loosen up the joints and have the tissue be elastic. That's how you're able to not be ripped apart. I had my perineum massaged by my midwife. So I'm going to see if I can find if I did penis size in the file. Penis. Because, okay, one night this guy came into my booth and he didn't speak. He just put a $10 bill through the hole. I put light on myself, and like an accordion, his penis came out of his pants, and we kept going further and further down until it was lost in the shadows at the bottom of his booth. You couldn't see it. He couldn't even speak. All his blood went there. It was so long. I mean, how could that possibly do anything for anybody? What are you going to do with that thing? Now you understand big butts. A big-butted woman wouldn't be ass fucked, but he could take that and slide it in between her big buttocks and give her really nice sex from behind, like the way the lions do it with the lionesses in Africa. I'm just saying. And frogs do it that way. And other animals do it that way. They call it doggy style for a reason, but dogs do it different. They're humping. A man you could do like on all fours. You could lay spoons. Like, why do you think you have to be on all fours? Or you could be laying down on your stomach with a woman, and he could be like on top of her, pushing it in. It's very sexy. So, big butts. If the guy's schlong is that long, he's going to need a big-butted woman. He would break somebody that has a small palace like I do. My stairway to heaven is not that big or long. So that's the other thing. If it's hitting your cervix, girls, and it's painful, he's too long. And he can't put his whole thing in. If he can put his whole thing in and you can grip it with your muscles and go, you know, and he's loving it and you're loving it and you're moving around and he's just like, wow, she's fucking me back, then it's perfect. I have circumcision debate. Because I think circumcision is all wrong. And I wrote an essay about it. And basically, when a boy has when he's circumcised, the baby is not euthanized, anesthetized. Okay, the baby's not given, the male baby, freshly born male baby into the world, is traumatized. Look at it in history. My father didn't have it done to him. They convinced them it was for hygiene purposes. Basically, it traumatized the baby boomers. And now, subsequently, every male, because it's been the thing to do, it changes the brain. And guess what else it does? Ladies, what would it be like if your clitoris was out wagging around constantly? We have a hood on it for a reason. It's like our own little penis. We don't have penis envy because we already have a penis. It's called a clitoris. And ladies, when you're excited, bing, that thing's up. And the other thing, ladies, when you're excited, you swell. If you're not excited, you don't even get wet down there. That's just the way it goes. Learn how to excite yourself. It's not all about the orgasm, it's about the massaging. It's about the massaging. So is it the size of the ship or is it the motion of the ocean? Both. It's going to all depend upon every individual. And the other thing would be coitus interruptus. So for us ladies, if a guy comes right away and doesn't take care of us, that's like, what the fuck did we do this for? So I actually dated a guy who was Peruvian, and he had a picture of the Last Supper in his dining room. So I'm taking he's very biblical. After he had his climax, he didn't even it was like, let's go for a walk now. And I'm like, after 2 weeks I was going to give him the lessons. But this is what I wrote in this essay. Ladies, spare yourself all the time and agony and potential STDs, plus bad sex, by guess what? Judging him by how he kisses. Because guess what? If he can't kiss very well, how do you expect him to do anything else very well? And it goes both ways. You ladies, it's the same. But guys, okay, I don't know about you ladies, but I'm not a tonguer. That is an invasion of my space, unless I know you very, very well and we're having sex. That's the only time I want your tongue in my mouth. And I'm not talking to you. I have a boyfriend, my boyfriend, who I've been with for 9 years, not 10. I misspoke. I first saw his cute face in December of 2009, but we didn't start seeing each other until May of 2010. So this May, it was our 9th year anniversary, but we've spent quite a bit of time apart because that hasn't worked out. It's been maddening. So I'm learning about myself, he's learning about himself, we're healing, and we live just far enough apart for me to get my ability to ground and get my power. Because man, oh man, he's been through some humdingers of life. But that man makes love to me like no one else makes love to me. And his penis, that's right, is perfect. The shape of it, the length of it, the width of it, the everything of it. And he told me, he's like, I'm not very big. Well, that's because he was probably married to an elephant woman. She was 6 foot. Maybe she had this big, huge orifice. I don't know. I'm just saying. He thought he wasn't that big. And he's not huge, and I'm not gonna get a ruler. This is not how I roll. It's perfect for me. It's like, he fits however it is, because here you go. Want to know how, you ask your gynecologist how many inches it is to your cervix and how long, if you really want to get like measurement on you, if you want to get all analytical and measure it. And then also, girls, you all know, and guys, if you don't, if you put your finger, find your G-spot. This would be if this was her butt here, and she's okay. Look, she's squatting right here. Here are her legs, and you're going in. Now that would kill her if this was to scale, but you're going in now. Pretend this is her top of her belly is here, and that's her pubic bone. Now you're going in, right? So I'm going to show you now. This is the inside view. You're going like that. So you have to pretend this is the opening of the vagina. It's not going to be that gaping hole though. And you're going in. Now I'm going to show you what you do. You sort of like come here, like come here. That's when you get your G-spot. Okay? And you want to use coconut oil, the organic variety, because it's antimicrobial, plus it feels really good, and then you can actually pleasure her because it tastes good. If you can't give her a vaginal orgasm with regular sex, so regular sex means he's on top or she's on top or whatever. Now, being on top for me was the only way I could ever climax with a man inside of me, because that's just how my organs were, and the G-spot was the angle of it. So I had to be on top until I met my guy, and the orgasms are off the charts ever since I met him. And you're in waves of bliss. How can you give that up? I like to drink, but I don't overdo it. And, you know, he's doing his best. He wants to keep me. I want to keep him. So, thank God for sex. Thank God is for sex. You know, what would we do without sex on this planet? You know, what would we do without sex and good friends, right? Oh, goodness. Let's see here. The orgasm certainly is wonderful. So I wrote a whole thing here. I'll do a reading on the chapter. But I'm going to do the reading. I'm doing my writing for the chapter. And this is YouTube. Hi, YouTube, everybody. Patreon is where I'll be, Cat Woodland. And I haven't put them in, but there'll be tiers. And what you'll have access to will be readings, MP3 readings, my voice, reading from the book. So I'll be expressing myself vocally by reading what I have written in the book and on Patreon for X amount of dollars, but also as a, because you know, you support me for at least $1 a month. That's doable, right? So then I would, at $1 a month, what I would do is, isn't that funny? It's like you got to pay her $1 first. You get to talk to a pretty girl. But I'm not doing that. I'm kidding. It's just the format hasn't changed. It's like it's still. But I'm not selling my sexuality. That's what I'm telling you. I am selling my book, and I'm also not just selling my book. I'm opening up the community of people that are interested in having open and honest conversations about sex and sexuality and how we've been going about things all of these years. And that maybe we should look at things differently and start honoring the differences of the sexes. Right? Cheers to that. And I'm in love with my guy, but he knows I'm a beautiful woman. He says I'm a beautiful woman. He says, I'm going to get hit on. I said, I'm out there having a really, really good time, and I'm not really being hit on, but, you know, perhaps I may come across as easy and breezy, like, hey, you can do me. No, I'm a one-man woman, and he's my man because he can give me a vaginal orgasm. He can camp. Woo! He camps with me. He camps with me. I'm going to end this soon. He'll play ball with me. I found a lacrosse ball. We'll go outside and bounce that thing, and we'll set up rules like, hey, you have to catch it after like 2 bounces. I mean, he's a playmate. And not the centerfold kind. He's the real kind. You know, he's a life mate, playmate. So anyway, that's actually a good segue, playmate. So my grandfather, this is in the book, had girly magazines, is what we called them. And that's in my book. So you'll be able to hear about that chapter where I talk about, when I was a girl, we didn't have access to things like the internet. So I had no idea of what the female body would look like. I had no idea of knowing how maybe I would look sometime in the future. So my grandfather had Playgirl magazines, and this was before Playboy magazines. I started off talking about Playgirl. That's ugly guy penises. Ugh. I still remember it. Ugh, scared me because I couldn't barely put a tampon in, remember? So anyway, back to my grandfather. He had Playboy magazines, and I remember seeing the beautiful woman. They didn't have these big, huge maypops that they have nowadays. They had normal breasts. They were beautiful women because they didn't have the technology. Like Marilyn Monroe was one of the first, I think, to augment. I know she did a nose job. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she just did her nose job. Anyway, but breast augmentation and breast fascination, that's not for me. Sort of like that big, huge schlong that needs to go with a big ass in order for the whole thing to be massaged and actually feel really good because you're just too big to actually fit in that lady because nobody's like that long. Different strokes for different folks. I lost my train of thought. I just remembering that man's. It's like, and he couldn't even speak. So more on this subject because it's one of those subjects that you want to do over and over again. Penis size. Join me.